Sorry about the delay. I know I said 1 o'clock earlier, um, but that was before I started getting hungry, so wanted to make myself something special. But anyway, without further ado, welcome back. I'm our banner pilot, as always, and welcome back to the Metroid stream. So, let's go ahead and get started. Last week, I made a bit of an uh-oh, in that I went a completely different route, and this is the wrong memory card. Whoops. I have to swap them for certain games. Some games have the saves, others don't. That looks normal. Alright. So, I need to turn around and go the other way, because, yeah, I don't think we're ready for what we were originally going for. So we are going back to Phendrana Drifts, that snowy place. So let's go and see what we can do. Sorry about that. I had like a really dry throat lately. It's really annoying after a while. I'd like to point out, you know, despite this game's age, this game is still really colorful. I mean, certain things are. Like Samus's Morph Ball, oh wow. That's just bright color right there. I think it's perfect. Guess it just stands the test of time. Although with AV hookups, or with the AV hookup, things look kind of blurry here and there. I think I mentioned this last week. I'm wanting to upgrade all my consoles to where they can output the best quality. Most of mine are probably going to be upgraded to S-Video, since my video capture can support that. Oh, he faked me out. But anyway, either S-Video or I'll find some way to get SCART cables for all of them. Supposedly that's the best cord for the best video quality, especially on older consoles. But for the GameCube, there's a new HDMI adapter, which is a pretty big deal. In case y'all don't know, GameCube originally had two types of cables for it. There was the original AV cables, red, yellow, white, and then there were component cables. And component cables are those special red, white, or not red, white, red, green, and yellow cords. Or not red, blue, green, and yellow cords. And they basically output better video quality. They were HD before HDMI came and took that name. Pretty nice cords, though. GameCube had them, and, they did their job. The only problem is they were only released in Japan, and I think there was a limited quantity for how many were sold. So, the thing that makes them so valuable, or the thing that also makes them a little more special, is that they're specific to the GameCube. Nintendo was being kind of cutting edge, I guess, with having their own type of hookup for that specific cord. That's why there's two display ports on the back of the Model 1 GameCube. They later took it away, probably because the system was, the cords for that port were so expensive. But yeah, originally that second port was for the component cables. Now those component cables have a special chip in them, which makes it so that they're only usable for a GameCube. So when they stopped making them, and believe me, they didn't make a whole lot of them, they became really sought after for GameCube enthusiasts. So nowadays you're looking at, you know, up to or actually I guess the lowest cost for those component cables would probably be $300. So yeah, I don't think that's a very wise purchase, if you ask me. Unless you're like a Nintendo purist and you don't believe in third-party software. I don't really mind third-party stuff, so long as it's better than the original product. So, you know, don't get me started on like controllers that I find, especially for Nintendo 64. Ugh, they're all awful. But for GameCube, you know, it's a pretty safe bet when it comes to third-party software. Gotta be careful with memory cards, though. Sometimes those can be corrupted a lot easier than the normal ones. I used to have like a really big memory card for it, but I don't know what happened to it. But originally it had a corrupted file on it, which is kind of sad because it was Soul Calibur data. And had I known more about the game at the time, I probably would have really enjoyed that. But that's okay. Okay, we got that. But anyway, because of the fact that those cords are so expensive and such, they're rare to begin with, there have been some people who have been trying to replicate them. Obviously, it's a lot harder to replicate the actual cord. So, people have decided, hey, why don't we just go one step further and, you know, not necessarily replicate the chip, but make it so that we can make something better. So people like Zelda X Pro on YouTube, and I think it's Eon, have gone out of their way to make HDMI hookup, which is basically just this thing that you plug in the back of your GameCube, and you know, it outputs HDMI. Now bear in mind, if you're expecting like an upscale, or if you're expecting it to upscale it to like, you know, 1080p or something like that, you're not going to be able to get that. These things, they just output to the highest native resolution on the GameCube, which in most cases is 480p or 480i on certain games. If your game on the back, next to some of the info, if it says that it has progressive scan, then that's typically what interlaced is. So, but from what I've seen, they work pretty good. I, for one, really want the Eon one, if that's the company's name. I think it's probably the better bet. It's a little more expensive than the Zelda Pro one. But with the Zelda Pro version, you only get a one-sided adapter. So instead of having, you know, the sound and video all come out of one cord, you have to use the AV cables to get sound. I, for one, do not like using more cables than I have to, so I kind of like the Ion or Eon one, because it connects to both ports. and that saves me a butt ton of room. I've got enough cords in here as it is. It's probably not very safe, but I haven't come across any issues, and it typically unplug the consoles that I don't use till I'm ready to use them. But when it comes down to price, it's still going to be kind of expensive. The Zelda Pro X1 is, I think, $100, which isn't terrible. Everything that or all these HDMI upgrades, they're all typically cheap, or they're all way cheaper than the component cables. The cheapest one I am able to find right now is $350 for one of those component cables, which is outrageous, mind you. So, yeah, I am sticking to something that that isn't going to kill my wallet. And the Eon one, it has a little bit extra, so, you know, it's going to cost about $150. Which, if I do say so myself, is not a bad deal at all. I still think that it's probably the better option. But if you're not a GameCube enthusiast or whatever, you know, I don't think it really matters to update your visuals and stuff. I think personally the reason I would want to get it is so I can start switching over to a better video capture software, or not software, hardware. Because, you know, the one that I'm using right now is only AV compatible, so I can't do I can't record video from things like my Xbox through my computer, or you know, my PS3. And the PS3 is like the one that I really want to do. Xbox isn't so much an issue because I've got the Twitch app on there, which already lets you go ahead and record your screen for Twitch. So, but PS3, as far as I'm aware, doesn't do that. Now, I could be wrong, and some of you who are watching right now, if anybody, you guys can correct me on that. But I'm pretty sure that is not the case. There's a Mama Sheegoth there. Now, these ones are a lot weaker than the boss that we fought, so you don't have to spend nearly as much time on them. In fact, honestly, I shouldn't even be bothering with this right now, but that's okay. Anyway, same tactic as before. Just shoot her with missiles when she gets tired out and stuff, which usually happens after those. See? A lot quicker than last time. But anyway, so yeah, if there are any of you GameCube enthusiasts, that's new too. You know, keep that in mind. I don't think that or I kind of enjoy the option to have HDMI for your systems, especially on the GameCube, because the GameCube has. It's one of those systems that I believe had a lot more graphic capability than some of the other consoles. I think that, you know, PS2 and Xbox, they had good runs with their graphics, but I think that the GameCube had just a little more potential than it was putting out, and obviously it did through the use of those component cables. So. But, unfortunately, most of us do not have that kind of money, so HDMI is the next best thing. And then, even then, you know, HDMI plug-and-play kits for those are still relatively expensive too. So, what the heck was that? Oh, is he bumping up against the wall? That was weird. I thought or it looked like I was jumping there. I wasn't hitting the B button or anything. I think that was weird. Yeah, he's like, whoa. He's hitting the wall. That's so weird. I've never seen that attack before. That's really, like, really annoying, actually. You learn something new every time you play this game. Oh. Well, I don't want to waste my time trying to fight it, so I'm gonna see if I can sneak by. Slowly. Ooh. No. There's one angry mama down there. Alright. Hopefully we don't get shot. Okay. You don't really have to use super missiles on these guys. I just find it a lot quicker to do that. A lot less time and effort being wasted. No space pirate over here this time, thank goodness. That last stream really spooked me when I came through here. But they're here, so everybody's favorite visor is back now. If this were hard mode, I'd have been dead by then. Oh, this isn't a save station. Ah! Oh, it's the mapper. Oh, jeez. I was like, I hear something. Bear in mind, I'm playing this with the volume down pretty low. I know there's a way to output audio to the external speakers, but I always have trouble with it, and every time I mess with the audio on OBS, one thing always happens. The audio usually gets messed up for the video or the stream, and then you guys can't hear my voice, which is never a good thing. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Depends on your personal preference. Heck, I don't really have that much to say to begin with, so it's all just improv. My 7-year-old self probably would have died of shock just seeing that. Bear in mind, this is coming from the kid who couldn't get past Halo's first level because he was too afraid to come around the corner to face an elite. I thought it went up without me. I was like, did I just clip through? I'm using the worst weapon for these guys, by the way. Should be using the ice beam. Use it on the turrets, though. I think this can be blown up. Cordite, yes it can be. Yeah. And going through here, unless you missile one of the, or shoot one of the, wow, that was really bright. Unless you shoot one of the tanks with the Metroids in them with a missile, then they won't come out. Unlike the first time where they break through the casing and whatnot. Alright, time to put that ice beam to use. Boop. And then you shoot them with a missile and they just explode. Just like that. Kind of brutal if you ask me, but it is what it is. Still in the rated T zone, if you ask me. Then again, I could care less. Honestly, I think the ESRB stuff is kind of a useless system nowadays. Because all the kids that I've seen, they all play rated M games nowadays. And don't get me wrong, ESRB is there for a reason, but honestly, like, it doesn't work for its intended use. It's just supposed to inform adults about what is in the game and whatnot. Where originally, I'm pretty sure the idea behind it was to keep kids from playing adult-themed games or whatever. And don't get me wrong, there are some adult-themed games out there that it probably does a great job protecting against. Every now and then you'll see a rated A game. I personally have never seen one in person or whatever. But they are out there, so. Where do I go? Oh, right, that's a save station. We'll go ahead and save, just to be safe. Never know when your GameCube might freeze or whatever. When I was younger, it used to freeze, like, a lot. I'm pretty sure it had to do with just the dust in it. But, I don't know. Might have also been due to playing too long. Back when I was a kid, I'd be playing this thing like 8 hours a day or whatever. Well, on weekends. I don't know about school days, though. Nowadays, I'll play whenever I feel like it. I don't know. Gaming nowadays is kind of... Oh, why am I wasting my time out here? I still can't get to that. For me, gaming nowadays is kind of like it's a bit of a chore nowadays. Like, I don't mind playing on streams and stuff, but when it comes down to, you know, just playing a casual game or whatever, I don't know, I find myself watching people play more than me actually playing the game myself. Okay, I keep thinking there's a mega turret or something around here. Because they are going to start showing up soon. Ouch. Oh, jeez. He's, not freezing for some reason. Usually if you just hit them once, they freeze. He was just not having it today, though. That's so weird. They're supposed to freeze after you shoot them. Oh, I just I just obliterated him. Goodness. Guess you could say it was a bad case of frostbite. feel like there's something in here. Anything in there? Nope. Oh, right. There was an energy tank in here before. I'm pretty sure I got it though. I hate these rooms with these security drones. They're an interesting enemy to fight, and they're honestly one of the easier enemies you can fight too. But oh wow, some things do actually burst out here. Fortunately, we have their weakness though. But ooh. Sorry, just lost my train of thought. Happens when you're in the heat of the moment. What is shooting me? There it is. See, that's what I hate about thermal mode. Like, it only really applies to biological enemies. So, when you're going against turrets and stuff, you can't see anything. Almost makes it pointless to use. I'm probably gonna get latched onto by a Metroid in a minute. Surprisingly, he was just being a weirdo. Alright. So now that we have the ice beam, we can go through these white doors. Okay. I thought there was going to be like a space pirate that pops out here. It's usually the case in these kinds of corridors. But now we get to see the other side of Phendrana Drifts. Not too special. The music's okay though. But everything that you've seen in the other places is pretty much here. We are going to climb our way up here though, without getting attacked by a beetle. Get away! Okay. And we're going to be picking up a new suit upgrade. Can I get that yet? Ah. Blast of heat. I hate it when, you know, there's something really promising in there and you can't get it because still don't have that upgrade yet. I don't think I need to be here. Unless that's an ice door. No, that's Thardus's cave. Pretty sure there's something I can get now, though. I could be wrong. Oh, right. By the way, if you come back in here, it's just another Sheegoth. No refights with old bosses. Oh, and if you're able to hear the audio, you'll probably notice that when you go to the other side of Phendrana Drifts, the music changes. Not sure what the significance of that is. It's probably just cuz, but it's a pretty neat little track. I think I've probably said this already, but I think Metroid Prime has some of the best music in the Metroid series. I think it's a lot more atmospheric than, say, stuff like Zero Mission or Super Metroid. That's the one everyone really likes. Not trying to start any fights with the Metroid community, but I seriously think this is probably the best game in the whole series. with Super Metroid Prime being in second. And as far as music goes, this one for me is the first, and second. You know, I'm not really sure what second would be. Probably be Metroid Prime 2. I really love the soundtrack that plays in Torvus Bog. Very nice, very subtle piece. Alright, I need that upgrade before I can go in there. A message came up, but it went away really fast. Really, I should be looking at my map instead of being such a nerd here. So it shows doors. Like there's a purple door around here somewhere. Yep, there it is. It's all the way up there. Hi, Speedle. Yep, that was quite the picture. Oh. I always forget about that. They don't just like crawl around here. They just kind of just sit on the ground. It's really weird. There's a pretty neat looking creature, the glider. If you've played Super Metroid, it might look a little similar. And the original Metroid too. It's basically one of those things that makes that beeping noise when you shoot them. Doesn't really hurt you. It's pretty much there for the Grapple Beam when we do get to that. For now, he kind of just chills out. So, if I'm correct, this place has like a bunch of stalactites that you gotta shoot down. Just checking to see if there's any that I might have missed so far, but I don't think I have. I think later on, if you come back here, there's space pirates that'll chill out and try to shoot you. Always trying to change up that formula. There's a way to get that missile expansion. You can't just dive in because it's ice, obviously. But there should be a way to get under there. Probably has something to do with like a stalactite or something. Yep, there it is. So there is a way to get it early, I think. If I can just aim up enough, I could probably do it. Oh, I hope that works. Nope. Oh, it's like right there. And of course my L trigger didn't stay down all the way. So if I can get that, I could actually sequence break a little bit. Oh, why isn't this L button working? I swear, this game has some issues with control. Like the L button, it works a majority of the time, but there's some cases where it just bugs out. It's really sad. In Metroid Prime 2, they fixed that though. As far as I'm aware. Anyway, here's another save station. More lesser log entries. Pass through inspection. Yeah. I really want to find that Metroid Dread reference. In the last episode, I was kind of sticking around in one place looking for this log entry that I said would reference a game that came out later. That was a mistake. It was a reference to a game that was rumored to be coming out for the Metroid series, and unfortunately, it did not come out. But there was a scan log that you could find that talked about something called Project Dredd, and it was basically a failed Metroid experiment. They say, though, or at the time anyway, they said that it might be a reference to a sequel to Metroid Fusion. Because as of right now, and for the foreseeable future as far as I'm aware, Metroid Fusion is the last game in the canon. And we haven't gotten a game to, or we haven't gotten any confirmation of anything coming out after that. Or if there's going to be a story after that. We'll talk more about the story when we get there, but it was theorized that Project Dredd was a project name for the next Metroid, in the canon, or in the canon sense. Unfortunately, that is still merely just a rumor, unless Reggie or whoever speaks on behalf of Nintendo shows us a trailer. I am willing to bet that we are never going to see a follow-up to that game. They're so focused on making like prequels and stuff, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't mind my prequels at all. I don't mind Metroid games, period, so long as they're good. Unlike certain games like Metroid Other M. Again, we'll get to that later, though. Way later. Alright, this guy just does not want to get killed. Makes sense, but that's kind of weird. Normally you shoot him with a missile and he goes down. So this here is probably the most annoying part of the game, is having to backtrack through, or tread through water. Not very fun, very slow, but the power-up that we're gonna get makes that a lot less frustrating. More stalactites. I just love how that looks. Even the water makes it look so much better. Just the way it rolls down and stuff. I mean, yeah, nowadays it kind of looks a little unrealistic, but even then, you know, it's still a lot more presentable than some games of its time. Or some games nowadays, too. I could just be speaking out of nostalgia, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty in here. Believe me, there are some games that I'm going to be talking a lot about when it comes to how they look. Particularly one of my favorite adventure games, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I will be doing a Zelda playthrough, or a Zelda marathon, I guess. Well, probably not a marathon. I'll probably do those just when I have the time. There's so many Zelda games out there, and I don't even own like half of them. In fact, the ones that I really want to try, they're kind of hard to come by. At least from my experience, anyway. Oh, there's our power-up. The infamous purple Variety, or not Variety suit, The infamous purple gravity suit. In some games it looks pink, but in this game I think they got it right, turning it purple. Not only does it make your suit purple, it also makes your visor blue, I believe. Yeah, blue. And your lights are blue too. So, if you didn't read that, let me go ahead and clarify what this suit does. Basically, this suit in this particular game only allows you to run through water at a normal pace. Water does not hinder you anymore. There are some fish in there, by the way. Thought that was interesting. Kind of curious, if you have the plasma beam, I wonder if that thaws them out. Probably don't want to do that though. They look kind of mean. Oh, guess I'm not going through there. Ouch. In other games, though, it has a little more of a use. There's some games where, you know, it'll make it so you can run through water with ease, but you can also negate the damage that you take from lava. So you can run through lava just fine too. I should have showed that off in Metroid Fusion. I really wish I did. Or not Fusion, Zero Mission, because it does the exact same thing there. I'll show it off more when we get the Super Metroid, though. Super Metroid's where that suit shines. Hands down, the best upgrade in that whole game. My personal favorite, too. Huh, never realized that. There's a Grapple Beam right there, which is where one of the stalactites was. But we're not going to worry about that. Come on, open up. Yet another one. Pow. Ah, there's the space pirates. I knew they'd put them in here at some point, just wasn't thinking they'd do it so early. Thought it would be like the next time you come around. I really gotta stop using the super missiles, because as you can see, I'm starting to run out of missiles. Ice beam, one missile, bam, they're dead. So anyway, now that we have the gravity suit, we can go back to Talon Overworld and go back to that frigate that we were at the last time. I am going the wrong way, aren't I? Yes, I am. Alright, where do we go? Research core. I need to go up. Whew, made it. There's some jumps in this game that are like kinda, or they kinda make you flinch a little, because they're just so far out. Well, we are going to morph ball our way up. I'm pretty sure we can get past all these guard drones, or not drones, turrets, with a little more ease, provided that Metroid doesn't latch onto us and I don't fall like a weenie. Go, 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 go. Oh, you almost fell. Oh, no. Okay. Yep, we're just gonna run. I've got enough health to keep me safe. Provided these guys don't latch onto me. Sounded like one of them was trying to, though. Nope, we can do it. We can do it. Go, 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 go. Woo! Oh. Alright, we made it. And we don't have to worry about them following us through. Yeah. Back to Predator mode. Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator. The cool thing about the ice beam is when you've got multiple enemies nearby, you can actually like partner them all up together, and you can freeze them all at once with a single charge shot. It's a lot easier to do with what's it called? The ice spreader upgrade, which we'll be getting after the next area, I believe. Because the ice spreader has like a much larger radius of damage, so you can easily take out a whole plethora of enemies that are all close together. Oh, not the turret. Don't touch me. I kind of gotta commend them for the static that these things start to emit when they get close to you, but I also kind of gotta ding them on that too. That's just really annoying when it happens every other room. And while this elevator goes down, I'm gonna take a bite of my lunch. The reason why I was taking so long to get this started was because I was making me some spaghetti. Again, I got kind of hungry, so. I hate eating on stream because I think it's kind of rude, but at the same time, I've got spaghetti here. It's getting kind of cold. But that's my fault on planning, so. Sounds like the neighbor's kids are home. Yay, we're back. Man, you know what I should have done? There was an elevator back there that I could have gone down. Saved myself a lot more time. But that's okay. We're just gonna run through. Hello again, gentlemen. Goodbye. Whew, that didn't knock us off or anything. There were originally those electrical ball things in here, but not anymore. There they are, though. Oh. So typically you can just walk around this guy. I don't think he'll wake up. Just so long as you maintain your distance. And you don't shoot at him, obviously. Though I'm pretty sure he just woke up there. And we're gonna drop right over here. Did he wake up? Yeah, he did. Alright. That's fine. Down we go. I think this is back to Magmore Caverns. Huh, I never went through that door. Probably nothing special. Yeah, it's just a save room. Might as well use it, though. That's one of the good things about this game. Unlike the other games where you have to beat the game in a certain amount of time for the best ending, the Metroid Prime series is like one of those games where it doesn't involve that. It'll show you the amount of time you spent in the game at the end, but ultimately you're pretty much here just exploring. I think I got them both. Again, I really should be using the ice beam, but whatever. But the way you get the best ending in this game is by collecting everything, and scanning everything. So really, that's one thing I do have to give it. It's really easy getting that ending in this version. Man, I wish I had power bombs. That would have gotten me to Town Overworld a lot faster. I don't even remember where I'm supposed to go. Oh, right. So for games like Metroid Other M, or not Metroid Other M, Metroid Zero Mission, wow, I cannot say my things. For games, the games NES Metroid, Metroid 2, Return of Samus, and Super Metroid, you know, you have to get through the games in a certain amount of time, usually under 3 hours, and that'll get you your best ending. Except for the original Metroid, you have to get done with that one in an hour. which I tried to show off, but unfortunately that did not go as planned. So whatever, no skin off my back. Maybe at the end of this Metroid marathon, I'll go ahead and try that again. Unless you guys want me to go on to something new, which I totally don't mind doing. I should really get back to the Halo games. I know one of my friends, Clark, was really wanting to do some multiplayer for the stream, and I was like, yeah, you can totally join in on that. Only thing that really like stopped me from doing Halo for a while was just how repetitive it was getting. I mean, after playing two of them, you know, it starts to wear down on you pretty quick. Though I've been getting kind of an itch to go back to Halo 3. And Halo 4's multiplayer I'd love to get back to as well. Only game in that series I'm really dreading doing a part of in the marathon is Halo 5. Not because it's a bad game, mind you. I actually enjoy the game a lot. The only thing I don't like about it is the team play mechanic. I really could care less about having the AI with you. Now, if you've got like friends that are playing it with you and stuff, you know, that's cool. But yeah, when it's just you and all you've got are those really wonky AIs following you around and stuff, it gets kind of hard. Especially on Legendary. My gosh, trying to beat that game on Legendary on your own is just such a pain. Ouch. But that's pretty much my only complaint about Halo 5. I thought everything else was done pretty well. I like the multiplayer a lot more than I liked. What's a bad Halo multiplayer experience? I guess I can't really compare it to anything because they all are pretty much the same. I think personally my least favorite Halo multiplayer is probably gonna be I know this is gonna probably annoy some people, but I gotta say I don't like Halo 3's multiplayer all that much. It's not bad. It's just I find it to be I don't know. I find it to be a little just bland and generic. I think Halo 3 in general was kind of bland. Now, I'm not compared to Halo 2, like when it comes to campaign and stuff, I still enjoy Halo 3's just a tad bit more. I think Halo 2's campaign was a little rough around the edges. I dislike them both for completely different ends of the scale. So for Halo 2, I didn't like the multiplayer or the campaign in that because it was way too. It was really hard, especially for people like me who like to go through all the difficulties and get all those playthroughs done. Legendary, I can never look at that the same way again. Give me Halo 1 Legendary any day. Then comes Halo 3, and I guess they learned a lesson about making a legendary kind of hard. Because Halo 3's legendary is kind of a cakewalk. It's almost like Halo 2's heroic mode. I mean, there's still the one-hit jackals and stuff, which does make the game a lot harder. But, you know, it's not nearly as bad as Halo 2's enemy AI. Probably has to do with the fact that there's no elites to fight in that game. The elites are what always got me. Hey, look, it's our crab buddies. But anyway. Oh, new pirate. So they're pretty much like the flying pirates, but these ones are exclusive to underwater sections. Their missiles do home in on you. So, you know, think stepping out of the side, or stepping off to the side is gonna stop them. No, I can assure you that does not work. But anyway, now that we have the gravity suit, this area is a lot easier to get through. Let's go ahead and save here. Oh, right. So now we can make it all the way up here. Fight past these Aqua Reapers. Sounds like Aquaman's arch nemesis when I really say it out loud. Doesn't sound very threatening. Ah. Whoops. Oh, man, that stinks when that happens. You could be on such a good pace, and then all of a sudden it's just completely halted because, whoops, guess what? You forgot something. It's not too bad, though. I just gotta find the other one. Yep, there it is. Guess I just wasn't paying enough attention. Every time you see these gratings here, it's usually one of those power nodes. Watch out for the Aqua Reapers. And just keep on platforming. Forgot about that one. When I get the plasma beam, these guys are they're just gonna be a complete pushover. This all probably looks familiar. Still a normal defense turret. There is going to be an auto turret, I know it. And I don't know how I got that to work, but that one super missile took out both of those turrets. Gotta love it when that happens. Oh, new creature down here too. Aqua Drones. Oh, And these are one of those enemies that will disappear after the first time you see them. So if you don't scan them, guess what? You don't get to, you don't get the second chance to come back to get them. They're gone. Which, honestly, is a pretty big, big flaw in their scan system, if you ask me. I was so distraught when I first learned that, surprise, you don't get to, you don't get the option to go and scan them again. There are power nodes down here. By the way, don't know about y'all, but that's that was kind of creepy when I saw it as a kid. It's dead, obviously, but it's just seeing something so giant and right there. Not a very settling thing to see. Alright, how do I get back up there? Oh, right. There's one more, but I don't know where it is. Oh. So hard to see him at some of these angles. But anyway, this should be like the last of the major having to shoot the power nodes things. I don't think there's any in the place we're going to. By the way, hope you guys like space pirates. Next area is going to be full of them. Anytime now. It's getting worried those space pirates, or the Aqua Reapers, were coming back. Lots of Aqua Pirates in here, and unfortunately the Ice Beam is proving to be kind of ineffective here. It's one of the annoying things about the flying pirates and the aqua pirates too, particularly the aqua pirates. They can dodge your missiles and ice beam shots and everything. You can get really annoying really fast. Okay, it's been a while since I've been here. Probably missing something. Oh, I guess I don't climb anywhere. Or do I? Where do I go? Oh, it's another power node thing. See if I can shoot it from here. Don't think I can though. There we go. So where's the next one? Oh, there it is. Yay, we opened up yet another door. goes another one. There's a new creature here too. Saw this earlier, but couldn't scan it before. Love the ragdoll effects there. Oh well, it doesn't do anything. Anyway, these things are basically just covered in Phazon, I believe. I don't think they explode or hurt you or anything, but just be careful. I think you can scan the dead ones. No, you can't. Will burst when subjected to impact or trauma. Hardly. Is there another one of those things here? No, I'm just not looking hard enough. There it is. We're almost out of the water section, so hope you guys didn't mind it too much. Honestly, this is one of my least favorite areas in this game too, so if you didn't like it, I totally get it. Ah, didn't do it right. There's a power-up up there. Oh, didn't do it right there either. 1, 2... Oh. You gotta get that timing right, and I have not done this in a while. Oh, there it was. Alright. Goodness, I am just out of practice here, aren't I? This is like that one place where you do want to get the energy tanks for, because the guys up ahead are going to be really powerful. There. There we go. We don't have too many energy tanks left to get, so that's nice. Finally out of the frigate. We're back to Talon Overworld. I think we get a new visor here. I'm gonna do a little exploring before I go down there. We will end up having to go down there soon enough, but first things first. There's some white doors up here. Let's see what can come from those. Probably just elevators, but if there's a chance I can get the X-ray visor, that would be nice. Quicker way to take those guys out. By the way, those seedlings have like homing needles or whatever, so just be careful. Yeah, yep, it's an elevator. Chozo ruins south. I'll come back to that one. We'll go there before we go to our next actual destination. But I want to see that other one up there is. little spider ball puzzle here. Nothing too complicated. Don't think there's anything further up. Nope. Oh, is this Bendesium? Yep, it is. So we'll go ahead and check out the Chozo Ruins South real quick. There might be a power-up, that's why I'm wanting to go down there. That and I don't like seedlings. I really want to get good at editing, so then, like, in the future, when I'm going through all these all the YouTube video footage, I can, like, add little enhancements here and there. I really want to add, like, some kind of elevator music to those scenes. While we're here, we might as well go get some missile replenishing. And save, too. Gotta be careful. Sometimes there's a ghost that'll show up out here. We can also... Yep, I told you. There's the ghosts. 3 of them, too. Yeah, I'm not falling for that this time. I'm taking y'all out. Not to anywhere special, though. Couple more shots with this, and he'll be out of his misery. Oh, he didn't lock on, man. The worst part about these guys is, every time they hit you, Samus does this stupid little, like, oh, that hurt thing. And it's so annoying, because you could be, like, right in the middle of a charge, and it completely gets rid of it. And it happens so frequently, too. Now, when we get that X-ray visor, oh boy, we are going to be able to take these guys out with no problem whatsoever. Because with X-ray visor, you can actually, like, see when they're, or you can actually see them when they disappear and stuff. There you are. You can observe their pattern a little bit more. Be happy when we get to Metroid Prime 2 and we don't have to worry about sequences like these. Because they actually did something really... Oh, I took damage even though he was dying. It's kind of stupid, but whatever. I'm still with you. I missed a couple things since I've been down here. Okay, I need to go back. Oh, I hope the ghosts don't respawn. So they can do that. It's definitely not an impossibility. Yup, they just respawned because I went too many, or I took too many steps outside of this room. Oh, that was lame. And I don't have hardly any missiles anymore, so it's gonna be extra hard. Now, as long as you keep an eye on your radar and stuff, it's not impossible to lose them. but it's really annoying when you've got like 3 of them shooting all those energy balls at you. Like there, I wasn't able to charge because they're being really annoying. The ancient spammers. That's what they do. They just do that Hadouken combo every time, and they can do it over and over. It's like they've got it. They're using a macros controller. Or a macro controller. I don't know how you say it. Oh, I just want to take out one man. Come on. Oh, I hate that this happened. Now, fortunately, the next time we see these ghosts, unless I do something stupid again and leave the room, my bad. How stupid am I? The next time we'll see them will be when we get the X-ray visor, and that should be the last time they give us any trouble. No, come on, walk on him. There we go. But yeah, I think I've said this before, but in Metroid Prime 2, they actually make these guys like really easy to, or they have an enemy that's similar to this, but he's really easy to get away from. Because after a while, he just ends up leaving you. I don't know why I did that. I forgot this the last time. That's kind of lame. I hope I haven't forgotten anything, or forgotten to scan anything that's, you know, a one-time scan. It's one thing that always gets me when I play this game. I'm always left with that moment of doubt, like, oh, did I scan that thing, or did I miss something here? Alright, all of our missiles are replenished. So if we do have to go against those lamos this time, we can adjust. I don't remember where this takes us. Hopefully it's to a power-up or something. Ah, yep, it is. Energy tank. Score. Next time we come here, we're gonna be using the plasma beam on that red switch up there, and then that should give us an artifact, if I'm remembering correctly. But without further ado, let's go back to what we were doing. Or get eaten by a frog. Game over. Well, that worked out. Probably should show off what happens if you don't bomb them. If you don't bomb them, they'll basically they'll spit you out, and it does like about 10 points of damage to you. Nothing too bad, but you know, it's something to keep an eye on earlier on in the game, especially before in that one room, because what room was it? It was the room before the bombs. If you don't have those bombs, it'll spit you out because you won't be able to blow them up. So, but we don't have to worry about that. Without further ado, though, let's stop wasting time and get down there. Cannonball! Went too far, but that's okay. I don't remember what power-up we get down here, but there's some pretty good ones here. That message is very important because if you do step down there, it's going to hurt a lot. It's also foreshadowing our next area, which is, as you might have seen, the Phazon Mines. Or is it Phazon? I don't know. Oh no, it's Phase. They clarify that in the Metroid Prime 3. Anyway, this area is definitely one of the more dangerous areas in this game. Keep your wits about you. It's full of space pirates, and that music is just perfect for this area. It's just the right amount of creepy, and yeah, very foreboding. Anyway, starts off pretty simple, with the exception of those. Those are the turrets I was talking about. These are the mega turrets. They have a much more powerful beam attack or whatever, and they're also a lot stronger. So, you know, the 1-2 energy weapon doesn't normally work with these guys. Or I guess it does, but nope, it doesn't. Needless to say, just don't let them hit you too much, because they really do hurt. There's also space pirates everywhere, so, you know, again, keep your eyes open. So they do a lot of damage here too. And there's some special space pirates here, which are exclusive to this area. You won't find them anywhere else. And honestly, I think this is the only game that really... Well, no, I guess Super Metroid kinda does that. I mean, there's plenty of space pirate variants there, but I think this one has the most. Definitely the most intimidating. Because not only do you have to worry about normal space pirates, you also have to worry about special class space pirates. By the way, if you scan that down there, that deactivates the turrets. I think. Oh no, it disables the force field. There's another one up above us though. As that intro cutscene, can't speak today. As that intro cutscene probably showed off. I'm using the ice beam here because these guys, well, I guess it's pretty self-explanatory why I'm using the ice beam. It's a one-hit death for the most part. Just freeze them and shoot them with the missile. That door's locked until you kill off all the space pirates in this area. I I think there's one that sneaks around, or sneaks out. Yeah. Device is currently inactive. Not for long it won't be. There's more power conduits. Alright, where are they? We'll probably get the item here, and then I'll probably call it quits. I know it's only been like an hour and a half, but, yeah. I don't know. I enjoy this game, but the backtracking that we had to do today kind of took it out of me. Oh, forgot to scan that earlier. So once you get Spider Ball, you can basically activate, or you can start scanning the Spider Ball tracks and stuff. There's some we have to activate. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, we have to scan this again. Crane controls are not active. That reveals a missile expansion. So I believe, yeah, go up here. Oof, don't let that have you fall. Now we got more missiles. And our next part is to deactivate the rest of the force field. Yeah, there we go. And I guess that door just doesn't unlock yet. Oh, I see. There's a little panel up there that you gotta scan. My question is, how do you get up there? Or maybe that unlocks from the other side, and then that turns off all the turrets in this area. Could be wrong. Oh well. We'll just keep on going. I think there's 2 items that you get in here. But first, we gotta have a little dance with some new space pirate variants. After we nearly get destroyed by the turrets here. All those missile or beam weapon upgrades that use your missiles are going to be used pretty extensively here. Not with the turrets, obviously, but with the space pirates. There's that control panel that turns off the turrets. Yep, here we go. Oh, never mind. Still got a little bit of time. Freeze. Those there, they can be destroyed, but they're explosive, so just be careful. If you get too close to them, they can hurt you. Okay, I think this is where they start to come out. Yep. So here's a new type of space pirate. These space pirates are color-coded, depending on the beam that they're weak to. So these are wave pirates. Each one, or each color is different. They're very, very strong, and they can only be damaged by the color-coded weapon that they are colored by. So, be sure to pull out those or be sure to hunt down those beam upgrades, because they do make these guys a lot easier to kill. Unless it's wave pirates, then they're pretty easy to take out. It's power troopers that are a lot harder to kill, because obviously the power beam's not very strong, and yeah, unless you have super missiles, which I do, but you know, even then, it only does so much to them. Fortunately, they drop a lot of energy and a lot of other stuff too. Now there is something that you can scan that makes it so you can get in there. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point though. That's a red door, which means you gotta shoot it with a plasma beam. But for now, let's continue. By the way, these are destroyable. That should deactivate that security. But we don't have access to it, so. And usually those pirates do come out in these areas. They can come out in other areas though. So more Bendesium. Pretty sure that's our next power-up. Is the plasma beam, or not the plasma beam, the power bomb. Once that breaks, he'll jump out. Should probably be more concerned with that, but I'm not, because I pretty much saw that coming. It looks so creepy up close. That was the last of them, so let's jump up here. Nothing too wild and crazy yet. This guy is going to become important later on. Yeah, once we get the power bombs, we'll be able to open this up, and then we basically fight this guy. He's not very strong, especially compared to some of the other ones that we're gonna see, but he is essentially just a failed experiment. A space pirate infused with Phazon. The lore in this area is pretty interesting. So, if you ever get the chance, definitely check out the lore, because I think this area is a lot more. It's one of the more interesting parts of the game. But anyway, you're gonna want to scan some of these orange things here. They will provide information on, or they'll activate certain things. There's more wave troopers here. And they do a lot of damage. If you haven't noticed, they're doing like 10 damage on average every time they hit me with their beams. Pretty sure those can be destroyed with a super missile. Yeah. Don't know why you do that, but it's still an option. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of. I just activated the alarm sequence. That's right. One of these is a booby trap. So if you scan this, it will alert. It'll alert some of the guys here, I think, which makes your journey through here a lot harder. I think that's how it works. It might just be just a little Easter egg or something. I don't know. Ooh, there's a new one. That is a power trooper. So they are yellow, which means power beam. With a super missile, they go down relatively easy. Still kind of a pain in the rear, though. So this section here, you're basically going to be using this spinner. Actually, I want to see if I can scan that. Oh, no. This is basically just a giant laser beam. And you can use it to blow open these rock walls and whatever. Predominantly, you're just going to be using it to open up that door so you can get to that door over there. But there's a power-up that you can get here too in one of these sections. It's going to take a little bit of trial and error, but eventually you'll find it. Now, I don't know if you can kill yourself with it or not, but just be careful. No dice there. It's like a lottery ticket. Nope, still nothing. So it's either that one or that one. I believe it's going to be that one, though. I like to blow them all up anyway. I think that might be a little off, but we'll see. No, I fell. And took a little bit of fall damage, too. Oh! Oh, man. It's been happening a lot in these games lately. I blame the video capture hardware. Probably put an input lag or something on me. Alright, was there anything in there? No, there wasn't. So it's in the next one. Yeah. Open sesame. There it is. Blew away a lot more than it should have. But whatever. Anyway, let's continue. Oh, there's I think there's a scan log thing here. No. Thinking of something entirely different. Little bit of puzzle there. I don't really care about it though. Doesn't unlock anything. Just means of getting down. So here's a pretty extensive puzzle. It's not too hard, but it's kind of annoying. Basically, we're gonna be getting like a total of 3 items down here in these caverns. The first one is gonna be because of this thing. There's the Grapple Beam, which we will be using for getting to some other pretty important items. It's mostly used for power-ups, though. Or not power-ups, ammo expansions and energy tanks. But it's also mandatory for the end of the game, too, so... Well, not the end game boss, but in the end game area. So our goal here is to jump up into these things and bomb the bomb slot so that these pieces here connect with one another. pretty self-explanatory. This diagram here will tell you, you know, how far you are, where everything is and stuff. So the one on bottom needs to be turned to the right. And I think they turn counterclockwise. Nope, they turn clockwise. Well, that's A-okay, because we just got it. So far, the only two that you can really use are the blue and red tracks. The yellow one will be used after you get power bombs. You can probably get up there right now, but I don't think it'll... Oh no, that's where the third section is, which will change the yellow. Unfortunately, it's blocked off by Vendesium, of all things. So, no dice there. Actually, I think the yellow takes you to the Grapple Beam. Right now, we're probably just getting the power bombs. These guys are probably familiar. I wouldn't worry too much about them. In fact, I just dropped through them. It's not too much damage. On hard mode, I'd probably be more concerned, though. But as you could probably see from the beginning of the stream or video, depending on when you're watching this, in the beginning, my memory cards were in wrong, and you guys were able to see my original game progress, which basically showed that I had 100%. That scared me. Let me go ahead and talk about that real quick. So normally, if you jump down here, he will burst out of the top there. But if you shoot that little explosive box up there, you not only reveal this, but he also gets hit by the explosion as well. And he just kind of like, oh man, she got the high end on me, and just fall down and die. Apparently, he gets the other one too, if there is another one. Anyway, yeah. So this area here is where we are going to come across our first elite space pirate. Not like the Halo one, or not the Halo elite, just a elite class of space pirate. These guys have basically been genetically engineered with Phazon. They're huge. They have a massive ground pound attack and also a plasma cannon, which you don't have to worry too much about. They also have this hand thing that basically absorbs your shots. If you shoot it enough, I believe that's when they do their ground pound thing. Basically what you... Wow, I was getting stuck there. Basically, just shoot them with missiles when you can. More so, just super missile them. And eventually he will do that ground pound thing, and then we can get on with our lives here. And no, you can't freeze them. And I don't think Plasma Beam does anything either. Nope. He's kind of just stuck there. Oh, there he goes. 2 super missiles usually takes him out. I guess you could consider him a mini-boss of sorts. Now there's going to be some space pirates running down here, maybe dropping around us. There's going to be a lot more of him as we progress through. Nothing we can't handle, but ooh, there's an ice pirate. Woo, we could add it to the Pokédex. These guys are a real pushover. Just freeze them and hit them with the missile. Nothing too special. I think there's another one. Yep. There's probably 3 of them. My radar shows something in the other room. It's weird though. I think it's only supposed to show what's in the room next to you. Unless they're on the ground here. No, they aren't. Anyway, don't forget your pirate data. And you know, if you're bored, you can always check through these orange ones too. I just don't waste my time with them because typically you read them all pretty quick. This is the elite fate, or the elite pirates food, I guess, is being shot into that tube there. There's more of it. So let's go ahead and go upstairs and see what all we gotta do. I'm almost certain now that our next power-up is pretty much just gonna be the power bombs. We might go back and get the grapple beam before we call it a day. Lots of pirate data here. You don't have to push A through all of them. I just do it out of force of habit. That'll deactivate the shield, and here's all the rest of the data. Lots to scan. Unlike the one-time scan creatures or whatever, though, pirate data and Chozo lore will always stay there. With the exception of one pirate data. There's one at the very beginning of the game that will disappear. Obviously, because of the ship blowing up, or the frigate blowing up after you visit it. Be sure to get away from there because that is poisonous. As you can tell by the danger monitor getting up higher, it's basically just acidic. We will find a way to take care of that though. Oh, and in here you're going to come across some Metroids. Oh no, just more space pirates. We're gonna ghost bust him. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Booyah. This guy will be breaking out later on. Oh, and in case you're wondering, they do have permadeath, so once they die, they're dead for good. Alright, can I just point out one thing real quick? That is, like, kind of spooky. That standing animation. It just looks so odd. Looks like they're staring you down or whatever. It's like something you'd see in Tiberian Sun or something. Just a weird CGI abomination. I don't know if this is true or not, but I think I recall the fact that they can actually jump up here from down there. Maybe it's a scripted event. Or I could have just dreamt it up or whatever. But I'm pretty sure they have the ability to jump up here if they want to. was advanced weapon testing. It's like, what? More Bendesium. We won't have to worry about that for right now, though. For right now, we're going to cause some trouble. Pirate data. There's one of these orange ones in one of these areas talks about how the space pirates seem to use Metroids as like pets or something, and they feed them Phazon or whatever. It's kind of cool. I guess he doesn't come out. Maybe he comes out on the second run through or something. Oh well. This guy will burst out later, though. But anyway, here is our boss fight for the power bombs. This isn't only just a boss fight. It's also kind of it leads into a puzzle. The boss here is invisible, and you can't scan him. Don't know what their reasoning behind that was, but if you can see down there, every now and then you'll see that there'll be like a red dot or something that moves around. That is an invisible drone. So just be wary. I think you can see him on the radar. Yeah, he's kind of floating back there. I'm gonna try and get the sneak up on him. Now, there is a very easy way to take care of this guy. When I first fought this guy, it was really hard. He isn't really a pushover, that's for sure. But yeah, there he is. Again, can't scan him, and he's invisible. But once he blows up, that blows up. And now we get to go through this little maze here. An easy way to take that guy out, though, is to use your wave buster. If you wave bust, it'll lock onto whatever enemy's nearby, regardless if you're locked onto them or not. It's kind of like an auto seeker type thing. Pretty neat. That's how I beat him the first time, because I honestly just couldn't keep up with them when I was younger. When you come across these little puddles, blow them up, because they'll get rid of some of the electrical current. Don't know how that works, but whatever. The yellow ones will come in and out on a pattern, so just wait your turn. And something like this does come back in Metroid Prime 2. It's not so much a puzzle in that game, though. And all you get from it is a missile expansion. Ouch. It does do quite a bit of damage, though. If you're low on health at this point, you may want to go and farm some health, because this is pretty bad. But anyway, we just got our power bombs. It's going to blow up that reactor and all those energy modules or whatever. They're all deactivated. Of course, now you can't get down there anymore. But anyway, this is probably the single most deadly weapon in the whole game. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the deadliest. But now we can use that to blow open doors and stuff. So there's one back there. I want to see if this is a save room, though. Is this a save room? Yeah, it is. We'll see if we can backtrack to where we can go and get the grapple beam, because that's a must for this area. When you come through here again, you will see that there are some space pirates that will be hanging from the ledges up here. They'll all be ice pirates every time. If you have ice spreader, you can basically take them all out at once. But anyway, without further ado, you only get a certain amount of power bombs per per expansion, though. There are power bomb expansions. I am doing this completely wrong. I need to... Nope, never mind. I did that completely wrong. There we go. That's how you do it. If you get over from this side, you can actually deactivate it. But for now... Oh, we're gonna have to go through here before we do anything, aren't we? Okay, tell you what, we're going to... Not that I don't want to go through there right now, it's just, I think I should probably call it a day here. Plus, I can show off these guys now. Love how that froze them. Whoop. But this will be where I call it quits. I've got some spaghetti in there that I need to eat, so... We'll get back to this next not next Monday, next Wednesday. And have ourselves a ball then. We're getting pretty close to the end of the game. I wouldn't say it's the second half yet, but we're getting pretty close. Because the last half of the game is us getting those artifacts. And fortunately, it's not too hard to get them. So, fortunately, I've played through this, so, you know, I know pretty much where they are. I know some people out there are like, oh, you should play games that you haven't played before. I prefer doing games that I have played before, because I like showing off games that I appreciate. I do have some games that I do want to play through with. By the way, Simon says on her arm there. But I don't know. I think that showing off some of the older games that I've played for right now is a pretty good start for my Twitch stuff. But there's going to be plenty more games down the road. For now, we're doing Metroid, and after that, probably get back to Halo for a little bit, and then the sky's the limit there. I might even put off the Halo stuff for a while, because I know after one marathon, doing another is just kind of silly. But then again, if YouTubers like Some Call Me Johnny can do it, well, of course that was a review marathon, but if they can do it, I can too. But anyway, I'm just rambling on at this point, and Samus seems to be getting kind of bored. So, with all that said, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch if you're watching on Twitch. But till next time, you guys have a good night. Take care.